What's up, YouTube? I'm here to break down the 2012 NFL season's opening game. The Dallas Cowboys beating the New York Giants 24-17. Tony Romo and the Cowboys offense completely destroyed the Giants defense. And I'm going to give you some statistics and what happened in the game and a couple of key plays I thought really decided this one. So let's get it started. All right, let's start with Tony Romo's numbers. 22 of 29, 307 yards, 3 touchdowns. Had the interception, but you look at his numbers from that 2-minute drive at the end of the first half till the end of the game, he was basically perfect. I mean, I don't think he had any incompletions from that point on. He was just torching the Giants' defense, and he was the main reason why the Cowboys won, and they're going to need a performance like this from Romo basically every week if they're going to want to, take the turn they say they're going to take and be a playoff contender, because the way Romo played last night, those are MVP-type numbers. And, yeah, he took advantage of a depleted Giants secondary. They don't have Terrell Thomas, no Prince Amukamara. They lost Michael Coe in the game, but he still beat up on the number one cornerback on the Giants defense in Corey Webster. Des Bryant had his way with him. No matter who they put on Webster, Webster was getting beat. So, huge night for Romo. DeMarco Murray had a big night as well. 20 carries, 131 yards, averaged nearly 7 yards a carry. Did have a touchdown. First half was very slow for Murray, but just like Romo, just like the entire Cowboys team, the second half was their game. Murray was just, again, it was really defined by a 48-yard run, which the Giants missed about 3 tackles in the backfield, and he took off from that point. You look at his numbers, it's about 19 carries for a little bit less than 100 yards without that play, but that's still a huge play for him to get, and he still had a very strong game from the second half on. So good night for Murray. They didn't get any touchdowns on the ground. It was all Romo, but those draw plays, the Giants had to look, was he going to pass, was he going to run, and they just had no idea what to do. What a night for Kevin Ogletree. I mean, you look at his numbers, 8 receptions, 114 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was incredible. The number 3 receiver, and he was matching up against anybody, and he was just making the play. He was the key. Romo to Ogletree was just the thing that killed the Giants. They could not stop him from that second quarter drive where they got their first touchdown to make it 7-3. It was just done from that point on. Ogletree couldn't be stopped. Romo couldn't be stopped. Then you got Des Bryant, 4 catches for 85 yards. Miles Austin had a 30-yard touchdown on a 1st and 30 play. I mean, it was just a amazing night for the Cowboys offense, and you got to give them a ton of credit for what they were able to accomplish in this game. Defensively, the Cowboys were able to get some big plays done. DeMarcus Ware with 2 sacks. Hatcher had a sack. They were without Jay Ratliff in the middle of their defensive line, yet still were able to get to Eli 3 times. They could have had plenty of more sacks. Eli was able to get rid of the ball a few times, but they had constant pressure on. The Giants' offensive line just was not protecting right, and it happened in the run game as well. Lee had a nice forced fumble. That really hurt the Giants as well. I'll talk about that a little bit later on. But you look at their defense, they didn't have any takeaways, which is good for the Giants. At least no takeaways from Eli. They had the fumble recovery, like I just said, but no interception. So that's a 1+ for the Giants offensively. No interceptions from Eli Manning. All right, Giants offensively, Eli Manning, pretty solid night, 213 yards passing on 21 completions, had the touchdown in the fourth quarter to Martellus Bennett. Nothing spectacular, but was not the reason for the Giants losing this game. He had a solid night. He was under pressure a lot, though. Offensive line was not looking good at all. Eli, definitely not to blame for this one. The ground game, Ahmad Bradshaw, if he does not have that 33-yard run and that 10-yard touchdown, that's 43 yards on 2 separate carries. I mean, other than that, it's like 15 carries for about 30 yards or so. Really bad night for the ground game for the Giants. If you look at it like that, I mean, if you take away the 2 nice runs, it was just a terrible night. Offensive line, again, not blocking, and the ground game is something the Giants really need to improve if they want to have a chance of repeating as champions, or at least at this point, just wanting to win the division again. So that was really a bad night for the Giants on the ground. Victor Cruz had 6 catches for 58 yards, but 3 drops really hurt him. Martellus Bennett, 4 catches, 40 yards, and a touchdown. Not a bad debut. He did have a drop. I believe he had maybe even 2 drops, but still a pretty solid night for him. Hickson looked really nice. He had a really nice 39-yard catch on 3 catches, 55 yards total. But again, that one play, obviously, his numbers are a little bit down. Hakeem Nicks, 4 catches, 38 yards. Nothing great. Once he really gets back into the swing of things, he should be good to go. Definitely getting some more catches per game. So I wouldn't worry about Hakeem Nicks just yet. You got to give some credit to the Cowboys secondary because they played pretty well. Defensively, the Giants were able to get the interception. It was a nice play by Michael Boley, but that was really the only highlight. And they were able to get some sacks on him. Rocky Bernard and Linval Joseph were able to get to him, but Romo was able to fight out of constant pressure as well. He was getting, not really constant pressure, but you look at the Giants, they were able to get some guys through, and he was just running away from them. And Tony Romo was just the highlight of this game. The Giant defense is going to really need to step it up, mainly in that secondary. I mean, actually, I should say all in the secondary, because the fact that you lost Michael Coe, and he was the number 2 guy, really would be the number 4 cornerback if both Thomas and Prince Amukamara are healthy. So right now the Giants are down to Corey Webster, Justin Tryon, J-Ron Hosley, and hopefully Prince Amukamara is back next week. But I think the Giants are going to have to make some sort of signing, maybe bring back Deion Grant to get a little bit of depth at that secondary, which is already depleted by injuries. Now for a couple of key plays that I think really determined this game. One was the David Wilson fumble. Rookie, first-round pick. He had some fumbling issues in college, and then you look at this game. His second carry of the game, he takes the ball to about the Dallas 30. The Giants are moving the football on that drive. Good-looking possession, and it ends with a turnover. That's one thing that always kills the Giants, is losing the turnover battle. They didn't lose it in this one. Both teams had 1 turnover apiece, but that turnover really hurt the Giants, because if they get in the end zone on that drive, it's a completely different game. You look at the Giants getting 7 points rather than no points on that drive. And the game, at that point, if that happens, it's 24-24. So that's a very big turnover for the Cowboys to get in that spot, because the Giants looked like they were poised for the end zone. Even if not the touchdown, they were in range for a field goal in that possession. Next play, I'm going to go ahead and say the Michael Boley interception. And it wasn't really the interception that was the big play. It was the penalty on that one. Tyron Smith, horse collar. Michael Boley scores if he does not commit that penalty. It's an easy touchdown, and it's going to be a pick 6. Instead, Tyron Smith commits the penalty. He knew what he was doing. He even said it. Puts the Giants at the 1-yard line. And what do the Giants do the next 3 plays? Run, negative. Run, negative. They pass, incomplete. You can make the argument the referee might have missed a holding call right there on Cruz, but hey, replacement referees, they're bound to make mistakes. I'm sure the regular referees would miss that play, out of 5 times, maybe 3, even 4 times. They're going to miss that call. So you can't really put the blame on the refs for that one, because it's a common call that gets missed in every game, even with regular referees. So that was a very big play in the game, and it definitely helped the Cowboys out, because instead of giving up 7, they gave up 3. And that really got the momentum on their side from that point as well. Next play I'm going to say was Miles Austin's touchdown. 34-yard touchdown in the 4th quarter on a 1st and 30 play. You look at that drive, all the penalties. If the Giants are able to get a field goal attempt, if they're able to hold the Cowboys, I should say, to a field goal attempt, if they can get, they gave up 3, you're down by 10 points, still plenty of time. You get a touchdown, defense should be a little fired up. Okay, we have a chance now. But instead, Tony Romo makes a great audible, and Miles Austin just torches Justin Tryon on an intro roll to one of the best-looking touchdowns I've seen thrown by Tony Romo. This was one of the best games I've seen Romo play, especially against the Giants. He was basically perfect from, like I said, from that 2nd quarter drive, that 2-minute drill on. He was basically perfect, and you saw him making all the right reads, and it was just a great night for him. That play really just put the Giants away. So that'll wrap up the Week 1 recap. The opening game recap of 2012. The Cowboys beat the defending champion Giants 24-17. Cowboys fans, if you're watching, great win. Giants fans, if you're watching, don't hit the panic button just yet. Still plenty of time left to go in the season. So that'll do it. Keep tuning in for the channel. We'll have plenty more NFL videos and other sports as well. And we're just getting started. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys for the next video.